this endgame idea is something we need to learn. Another interesting endgame we will analyze and solve for today's video: why to move and survive draw. How can you draw this kind of endgame that's somewhat losing because of the pass pawn of black just few moves away to become a queen? If we'll try to, chase this one, try to get closer here, but the white king is not in the rule of the square, so impossible for white to chase and stop and capture the black's pass pawn. So you have to make sure that your king will assist your own pass pawn. If you cannot stop the pass pawn of your opponent, do yourself a favor, assist your own pass pawn. So let's try and do it. Actually, there are ways to stop the pass pawn of black. If after king g4, of course, you will not move e6 immediately because, after of that, king g4, a5, the pass pawn of black is too far for that idea. King g4 is the good move, first key move, king g4, and white should not commit a blunder here. One miss square or one miss timing, game over. So let's go by moving first the king to d7, king f5, now a5, e6, king to e7, king e5. Believe it or not, this is a draw because the white king is able to go in the rule of the square. So of course, if you're gonna go for a queen, that's capture. So let's go back. So let's say we will not move the king first. After the king g4, a5, then king f5. Still, if black will try to move, let's say, king to d8 or d7, same idea. White will chase the pass pawn of black and it's obviously draw. So for this kind of endgame, especially if you're playing with the black, you have to keep pushing the pawn and confuse the white piece. In this case, we are playing with a white piece, so we have to find the correct square and timing of your pawn move. So right square for the king, because one miss square is game over. A5, king f5, and a4 here. Moving e6 immediately will lead to sorry loss for white because of the king d8. Let's say you cannot, of course, you cannot stop that one. That's impossible. If you will try, for example, go king f6, king e8, obviously game over for white. So king g4, a5, king f5. You will not move the pawn after the 8-4. There are 3 squares available for the white king. King to e6, f6, and g6. And only one square is good to continue the miracle. We're looking for the miracle here. So king e6, a bad move because of a3, then king f7, the ideal position to assist your own pass pawn. Unfortunately, for this case, you block your own pass pawn. So there's a queen f2, where you got king e6, and after queen e1 check, king d6, queen e3, game over. Or after king e6 check, king to d7, queen capture. So it's a clear win for black. So king g4, a5, king f5, f4, a4. Moving king d6, it's game over for white. Moving king f6 is also game over for white. Why? Because a3, okay, you're not blocking your own pass pawn. What's the difference? Because black will go for a check first before you promote your pass pawn. King f7, same idea like we had earlier. If you gotta go here, black will just try to go. E2 will wait for your king to go outside again, and after of king d7, game over for white. So the only good square after of king g4, a5, king f5, a4 is king g6. You are not blocking the pathway of your pawn. You are not going to the square where the check is. You have to go at least a little bit away from the pawn, but making sure it won't stop your pass pawn. Now, this is very critical for white. Is it a king move or a pawn move? If you will move your king first, another game over for white because a2, e6, a lost timing, and we've seen this idea. So the choice of moving your king to f7 is a bad move. You have to go now pushing your pawn e6. The idea is after a2, going here, a1, first check. If, for example, after of e7, king d7, king f7, same idea after the queen. Of course, white will get a check, draw. Of course, queen versus queen. Now, how about after of e6, king d8, king to f7. Once again, if you want to assist your own pass pawn, this is the ideal position. Okay, so a2 check, and here you have to just move away from any kind of check, and then queen. So draw.